this is my recent thrift store book haul. It's about maybe, I want to say 2 weeks ago, give or take. So I've said it in my videos before, but one reason why I love thrift store book hauls is because you pay under $10 for a book you'd normally pay $23.99 for. So $23.99, you think it'd be a hardcover book. No, it's a softcover book. And look, it's not even, like, there's not even that many pages. Perfect condition. Look at the condition of this book. Even the spine is pretty much perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I don't know if you've heard of this author, but this author is the author of The Woman in Cabin 10, Ruth Ware. This is her book, The Lying Game. I don't know if I've showed you her other books, but this is the last book that I needed to get of hers. I found all her books at Value Village, so I was super excited to find this book at Value Village because this was my last book of hers that I wanted to read. So the last book that I read of her was The Woman in Cabin 10 back in May. April or May? Maybe April. Which I will do a wrap-up. I'm behind on all my wrap-ups. So I'm going to try and pick my favorite book from January to May. So yeah. So I'm going to try and pick my 5 books that I read so far this year that I liked. And then I'm going to show you the books that I read that I didn't like. And that's how I'm going to do kind of my, I'll say my January to May wrap up because I haven't really done a wrap up video yet. So anyways, this book, the rules are simple. Tell a lie, stick to your story, and never ever get caught. I need you. 3 small words that change everything. Isa Wilde knows something terrible has happened when she receives this text from an old friend. Why else would Kate summon her and their 2 friends, Thea and Fatima, to the seaside town where they attended Sultan House boarding school 17 years ago? If I remember, I'll maybe do a separate video on her books so you can see the other Ruth Ware books. I think this one was on Instagram. I'm not sure, but for some reason the cover looks familiar. Usually if the cover looks familiar to me, I've probably seen it on Bookstagram. I don't believe though I've seen this book as a popular Bookstagram book, which is fine by me because I like to read books that look interesting to me or sound like they could be a good book. This is a book called I See You by Claire McIntosh. So she's the author of I Let You Go. I'm trying to think. Anyways, it all starts with a classified ad. During her commute home one night, while glancing through her local paper, Zoe Walker sees her face staring back at her, a grainy photo along with a phone number and a listing for a website called findtheone.com. Other women begin to appear in the same ad, a different one every day, and Zoe realizes they become the victims of increasingly violent crimes, including murder. With the help of a determined cop, she uncovers the ad's twisted purpose. A discovery that turns her paranoia into full-blown panic. Zoe is sure that someone close to her has set her up as the next target. And now the man on the train, the one that's smiling at her from across the car, could be more than just a friendly stranger. He could be someone who has deliberately chosen her and is ready to make his next move. I feel like I've heard of her name before, so I kind of want to look up and see what else she's had. This is the author of the book Then She Was Gone, Lisa Jewell. This is another one of her books that I found at the thrift store called Invisible Girl. Again, look at that. The spine's perfect. The book is perfect. It's practically almost brand new. You can see a little bit of dark spots on here, but basically brand new. Owen Pick's life is fallen apart. In his 30s, a virgin, and living in his aunt's spare bedroom, he has been suspended from his job as a computer science teacher after accusations of sexual misconduct, which she strongly denies. He searches for professional advice online and is inadvertently sucked into the dark world of involuntary celibate forums, where he meets the charismatic, mysterious, and sinister Bryn. Across the street from Owen lived the Force family, headed by Mum Kate, a psychotherapist, and Dad Rowan, a child psychologist. Kate and Rowan have always had a bad feeling about their neighbor Owen. There's something off about him. Their teenage daughter swears he followed her home from the train station one night. And it's a pretty book cover. This I've seen on Bookstagram along with his other book. This is called Anxious People by Frederick Backman. He's the author of A Man Called Ov. An apartment open house becomes just that. Oh, looking at real estate isn't usually a life or death situation. But an apartment open house becomes just that when a failed bank robber bursts in and takes a group of strangers hostage. The captives include a recently retired couple who relentlessly hunt down fixer-uppers to avoid the painful truth that they can't fix up their own marriage, a wealthy banker who has been too busy making money to care about anyone else, a young couple who are about to have their first child but can't seem to agree on anything, an 80-year-old woman who has lived long enough not to be afraid of someone waving a gun in her face, and a flustered but still ready to make a deal real estate agent. A mystery man who has locked himself in the apartment, and a mystery man who has locked himself in the apartment's only bathroom. And this actually book is from 2020, so this is a newer book, and pretty much, let's see. So this book is popular on Bookstagram. I've seen it a few times, so I'm actually really excited to read this book. I hope I can get a lot more books read this summer, but I guess we'll see what happens. This is not one that I've seen on, I've seen this on one Bookstagram account, so that is why I picked this one up. Again, I like books, like I said, that are popular on Bookstagram, but not well known on Bookstagram. Because as much as I do like to read popular books, I also like to read books that look like they would interest me. This book, like I said, I've only seen this book once on Bookstagram. We Begin at the End by Chris Whitaker. So I'll just read the first part. There are two kinds of families, the ones we are born into and the ones we create. Walk has never left the coastal California town where he grew up. He may have become the chief of police, but he's still trying to heal the old wound of having given the testimony that sent his best friend, Vincent Kin, to prison decades ago. Now, 30 years later, Vincent is being released. won't read any more into this. Now, I don't think, as far as I know, this book came out in 2020 also. So this is a newer book. This is not a bookstagram book, but it looked very interesting. It's called The House Swap by Rebecca Fleet. When Caroline and Francis receive an offer to a house swap from their city apartment to a house in a leafy upscale London suburb, they jump at the chance for a week away from home, their son, and the tensions that have pushed their marriage to the brink. As the couple settles in, the old problems that permeate their marriage, his unhealthy behaviors, her indiscretions, start bubbling to the surface. But while they attempt to mend their relationship, their neighbor, an intense young woman, shows a little bit too much interest in their activities. Meanwhile, Caroline begins to uncover some signs of life in the stark house, signs of her life. The flowers in the bathroom or the music might appear innocent to anyone else, but to her they are clues. It seems the person they have swapped with is someone who knows her, someone who knows the secrets she's desperate to forget. So this is the author of Behind Closed Doors, B.A. Paris. So I got the book Behind Closed Doors because apparently it's similar to The Silent Patient. Yeah, I chose this book because it's similar to this book is the same author of Behind Closed Doors, which is similar to The Silent Patient. So I bought the book Behind Closed Doors, and I kind of grabbed this book because it said it's the same author as Behind Closed Doors. So this book is called Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. Now, I don't think, let me just double check. This is 2018. So, let me see. She went missing. Finn and Layla are young in love and on vacation. One night, they're driving along the highway when Finn stops at the service station to use the restroom. When he returns to his car, Layla is gone, never to be seen again. That is the story Finn told the police, but it is not the whole story. He moved on. 10 years later, Finn is engaged to Layla's sister, Ellen. Their shared grief over what happened to Layla drew them close. And now they intend to remain together. His heart wants to believe that she is the one for him, even though a sixth sense tells him not to trust her. So this actually looks like a really good book. And if you've read the Twilight books or watched the Twilight movies, the author Stephenie Meyer has 2 adult books. Last year I read The Host. It was okay, not my favorite, but okay. I believe I started the movie and then I don't think I finished it. So I would like to finish the movie. But this book is by Stephenie Meyer and it's called The Chemist. And it's a hardcover book, which is regular, like, yeah, $40. So, this book says she used to work for the U.S. government, but very few people ever knew her. An expert in her field, she was one of the darkest secrets of an agency that didn't even have a name. And when they decided she was a liability, they came for her without warning. Now she rarely stays in the same place or uses the same name for long. They've killed the only other person she trusted, but something she knows still poses a threat. They want her dead, and soon. So this actually sounds really, really good. I haven't seen this on Bookstagram, So I'm kind of actually really excited to read this book. And this came out in 2016. So I don't think this, oh yeah, I usually like to look at the inside blurbs and blah, blah, blah. So those are the books that I got from my book haul, I was going to say chapters, but my thrift store book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video, comment if you read any of these books, or comment if one of these books you'd like to read. I will also link the names of the books down below for you. I'll try and find them all on Amazon and then link them in the Like to Know It app for you, so you can just quickly purchase online. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for lifestyle videos and book videos and book reviews and vlogs and book logs, all that fun stuff. Don't forget to hit the bell notification button to be notified whenever I upload a new video, which is every Tuesday and Thursday.